When I landed in the hospital, I thought my world was already falling apart. I had been having chest pains for weeks, but like many stubborn men, I ignored them until I collapsed one night while walking from the living room to the kitchen. I remember the dizzying blur of lights above me as the ambulance rushed me to the hospital. The sterile smell of disinfectant greeted me as I was wheeled into the emergency room. Doctors and nurses working quickly around me, and my wife, Claire, standing at the side of my bed. At that moment, I thought she was scared for me, worried about losing her husband. But as the hours stretched on and my condition worsened, I began to hear things I never expected. I was drifting in and out of consciousness when I heard her voice, sharp and cold, speaking to the doctor. "Honestly, he's not even the father of our kids anyway," she whispered, like she was sharing a dirty secret she had been holding in for too long. My chest tightened, not just from the pain of my heart, but from the dagger of betrayal that pierced through me. I wanted to sit up, to shout, to demand what she meant. But my body was weak, my eyes heavy, and all I could do was lie there, paralyzed. As the world around me collapsed in silence, I had been married to Claire for 15 years. We had built a life together, or at least I thought we did. We had 2 children, my pride and joy, the only reason I pushed through endless hours at work. I worked overtime, saved every penny, and tried to give them a life better than the one I had growing up. Every birthday, every school event, every late night talk about their future, those moments kept me alive. And now, lying in that hospital bed, I realized that the foundation of my family might have been built on lies. The next morning, when I was more alert, I tried to confront her. I asked about what she had said, but she brushed it off with a laugh. "You must have been dreaming," she told me, her voice laced with annoyance. But the way she avoided my eyes told me everything. She had meant it. She had said it. And she had no idea I had hurt her. Over the next few days, I stayed quiet. I didn't want her to know what I knew. I watched her every move, every interaction, and I started noticing things I had ignored for years. The late-night texts she always hid, the work events she attended without inviting me, the way she sometimes acted distant when I mentioned the kids' resemblance to me. Every puzzle piece began fitting together, and the picture wasn't pretty. When I was finally discharged, I didn't go straight home. Instead, I went to a lawyer. I explained everything, her words, my suspicions, and the growing doubt that the kids I had raised might not even be mine. The lawyer listened carefully, nodding, and then handed me a small card. "You need to start with a DNA test," he said. "It won't be easy, but it will give you the truth." So I quietly arranged for it. With the help of a private lab, I tested myself and both of my children. The waiting period was torture. Every night, I looked at their faces, wondering if I would lose them too. They were my whole world. When the results finally came back, I opened the envelope with shaking hands. My worst fear became reality. Neither of them was biologically mine. I felt like the ground had been ripped from under me. 15 years of fatherhood, memories, sacrifices, love, it all came crashing down. And Claire, she carried on as if nothing had happened, pretending to be the caring wife when, in reality, she had destroyed our family long before my heart betrayed me. But what she didn't know was that I wasn't going to let her win. Karma has a way of working its magic, and I was going to give it a little push. I began documenting everything. Her lies, her absences, her spending habits. Even the messages I found on her phone when she carelessly left it unattended one night. She had been having affairs for years with more than one man. The kids she passed off as mine belonged to men who probably didn't even know they had children. My lawyer told me I had a strong case, stronger than most. On the day of our court hearing, Claire walked in with her usual arrogance, dressed like she was attending a party rather than a divorce proceeding. She smirked, confident that she would walk away with the house, the car, and child support. But when my lawyer presented the DNA results, her face drained of color. The judge's gavel hit the desk, and suddenly, she realized her little empire of lies was crumbling. She wasn't going to get a dime from me. In fact, the court demanded she disclose the real fathers of the children for support. The men she had lied to all these years would now know the truth, and the shame she thought she had buried would come roaring to the surface. The kids, my kids, even if not by blood, were devastated. They came to me crying, confused and heartbroken. And despite everything, I held them close. I may not be your biological father, I told them, but I will always be the man who raised you. Nothing can change that, and that was the truth. I wasn't going to abandon them the way their mother had abandoned honesty. As for Claire, her lover didn't stick around. When the truth hit him, he realized the woman he thought he had stolen from me was nothing more than a liar who had trapped multiple men in her web. He left her within weeks, and she was left alone, scrambling, her reputation ruined, her finances destroyed, and me, I rebuilt. Slowly, painfully, but with dignity. I found strength in my children, in my work, and in the truth. Claire thought she had broken me when she whispered those words to the doctor. But in the end, those words became her undoing. Karma had other plans, and I had the last laugh.